If you're considering self-matching your private adoption, you are likely struggling with how to get started. How do you actually self-match, find someone to match with, and what do you share about your family with them in order to match with them? I know that a lot of my clients, when they are self-matching, come to me and say, how do I replicate the agency process without the cost of the agency process? And I have tons of step-by-step videos here on the YouTube channel that really walk you through exactly how this match step by step when you are self-matching your private adoption. In today's video, I'm going to be focused on sharing the one most critical element that can make a difference in the overall speed of your adoption journey when you are self-matching. If we haven't met yet, my name is Amanda, and I'm an adoption profile expert. I help hopeful adoptive families create, edit, and share their adoption profiles so that they can match faster. I teach you how to do this step by step and walk alongside of you every step of the way until you are matched and create your family through private domestic adoption. If you haven't taken a moment yet to subscribe to the channel, I really know it will help you in your adoption journey if you do so. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, and then you'll be notified each time that I release a new episode. Having an adoption marketing plan, which some people call also an adoption outreach plan, really will help you match your adoption faster. Now, it is important that you have a high quality adoption profile that creates an emotional connection. And if you need to learn more about how to do that, there are other episodes that you can click on and watch or listen to as well that'll walk you through that. But let's unpack what an adoption marketing plan is. Now, first of all, I know this may feel a little weird. Like, what do you mean a marketing plan? And really, what the word marketing plan means in the adoption world is having a plan on how you're going to share your adoption profile. You see, that is the big difference between using an agency model versus using a self-matching model. Now, there are definitely other differences for sure, like support and grief counseling for expectant parents that I think is really important. And I have other episodes that you can watch on that, on how to really support expectant parents through the process when you are self-matching, just like the level of support they would get if you were working with an agency. But when it comes to your marketing plan, literally agencies will have been charging you $10,000 to $30,000 easily, and sometimes also a monthly fee for sharing your adoption profile. So having that marketing plan really is important because it is helping you determine what eyeballs are looking at your profile. And without people seeing your profile, you're not going to match. Period. No matter what quality of your profile is, no matter how much heart you have for adoption, if people don't know that you want to adopt, it will be much more difficult for you to adopt. So there are 7, now that we've talked a little bit about what the plan is at a high level, let's talk just a little bit deeper about the functional pieces of the plan. So you can think of your adoption marketing plan as giving you kind of the step-by-step of exactly what to do and what to share on each day and where to share it. And so I know when I work with my one-to-one clients, I give them kind of a 6-month process that we walk through. And it literally says day 1 to day whatever, all the way through exactly what do you share on each individual location of where you plan to share your adoption profile, so that it makes it really simple for you to know exactly what to do and exactly what to share, where to share it. And most importantly, if you do yourself a favor and create all of the content up front, then it's simply about scheduling things out and then getting into conversations with people. And that really will make a difference. So now that we've talked about the kind of high level overview of what an adoption marketing plan is, and then a little bit more functionally about how you would use it, let me give you the 7 steps to creating your adoption marketing plan that I use with my clients through the process that we work with one-to-one. Now, these steps get results, my friend. They helped Emily and her husband match with twins. They helped several other clients recently start new conversations, like April and Jeremy in Texas, who matched with an expectant mama after 3 days of running Facebook ads using this process and my Facebook ads course to match with expectant parents. So let's walk through this because I know it's going to be really, really valuable for you. Okay, there are 7 steps to creating an adoption marketing plan. The very first step is determine where you feel comfortable with sharing your adoption profile. Now, I know this may seem a little strange, like, what in the world? Like, what do you mean? But if you don't feel comfortable sharing your profile in the particular place that you write down in your marketing plan, then you're not going to do it. And it's going to impact your overall success rate in matching your adoption. So the very first step is to get out a piece of paper and write down all the places that you feel comfortable sharing whatever profile element you think is appropriate for that particular place. The second step in doing that is you want to make sure before you take any action that you've checked what is legal in your state. Now, I have a resource that I've created for you, but before I share it with you, I want you to hear me say, I'm not an attorney and I don't give legal advice. But instead, what I've done is I've collected the laws that I've seen from each state's website and placed them on one blog post for you. You can check the show notes for a link to that. And that will help you just get a good overview of what the law is in your state. And then if you have any questions whatsoever, I would suggest that you do a Google search for the 4 A's or check the blog post for this particular episode because I'll have a link there for you as well. But the 4 A's are a reputable source for adoption attorneys that really have experience in adoption, that know what they're talking about. And it's listed out there by state. And you can just call each one in your state and see who you feel comfortable talking with and ask them the questions that you have around what is legal in your state. And the next place that you really want to think about is what are all of those free places that you could actually be sharing your profile? This third step in creating your adoption profile marketing plan is really important because you want to have a mixture of both free and paid. We'll talk about paid in just a moment, but free and paid ways that you can share your adoption profile. So some free ways might be a flyer that you put up in a laundromat. I had a client that recently matched via a flyer that was in a laundromat. It had a QR code on it. All she did was scan that QR code and it took her out to the website. She learned more about them. Then she texted them and they're due to bring home their daughter in just a couple of weeks from the time of when I'm filming this video. Some other free places where you can share your profile are obviously in those Facebook groups that are focused on adoption. That's a great spot. But there are also other Facebook groups that aren't focused on adoption. Emily just brought home her twins. I think they're 3 or 4 months old now by the time I'm recording this video. And she matched actually through a baby resale group in her local community. The expectant parents that were considering placing their children for adoption were also looking for ways to care for these children. And they were looking for baby gear in these particular resale groups. And she saw Emily's post about the fact that she was hoping to adopt. And when they made the decision that adoption was the right choice for the babies, then she reached out to Emily and they ultimately matched. So there are free ways to match that are both in real life that you could hand out things and place things in particular places, as well as through social and digital avenues that are really great consideration. So I would encourage you to make a list of those different places that you feel comfortable sharing it for free. The next place that I want you to think about sharing it in step number 4 is what are those paid opportunities where you could be sharing your profile? Now, before you put any profiles into the wind or into the wild to potentially match with, you do need to make sure you've done your due diligence on the legal check in your area, especially when it comes to paid places. But I have clients all the time, just like Amber and Jeremy that I mentioned earlier, that matched with a Facebook ad after it had been running for just 3 days. And so they paid money to Facebook. They used the ad that I had built for them and the targeting that I taught them to use. They deployed that through Facebook, following the step-by-step process through the videos that I had given them to show them exactly what to do. And they matched. I've had other clients that have matched through Google Ads and through other non-traditional paid placements that really have made a difference in their adoption journey. So make yourself a list of what areas do you feel comfortable paying for advertising to get more people to look at your profile. The next step in your adoption marketing plan creation is knowing what profile elements that you actually want to use or need to use based upon where you plan to share your profile. Now, if you're doing something in real life, you're not going to go hand out books all over town, right? That's just not practical. That would cost a small fortune. But you might hand out a brochure. You might put a flyer on the wall or hand out a business card. And then if you're sharing it in digital methods, you might share it on your Facebook page that's specific to adoption. Or I would highly recommend this, you would have a website that would have a video and you would share more about your adoption or about your family through your adoption profile there. So you want to think about all the different elements that you need. And don't worry, I have best practices around what expectant parents are looking for and how they come around and, ultimately meet and match with people. And I can share that with you if you have questions, but make a list of what profile elements you need. The next step number 6, is get help in creating those elements. The number one mistake that I see folks make that are self-matching their adoption is they try to go at it alone. They think, I just need an attorney and that's it. And I can tell you, my friend, from experience, that will slow down your adoption like nobody's business. That will quite literally make you wait years. You need the help of an adoption profile expert to help teach you what to say, how to share it, how to create it, and what to do so that you can match with expectant families. And then number 7, the last and final step in creating your adoption marketing plan is to create the actual plan. Create the actual step-by-step, day-by-day. What do you share? Where do you share? And how do you share it? What are those little tips and tricks on how to make your content seen more often when you're on social media? How can you schedule content in advance so that you're just really focused on finding opportunities and having conversations? So there you have it, my friend. Those are the 7 steps to creating your adoption marketing plan that is really critical when you're trying to privately adopt a baby. When you're going through this process, I know it can seem a little overwhelming, but don't let it be, my friend. Jump over into the Facebook group, send me a DM, or head on over to myadoptioncoach.com/profile and click the button that says talk with me one-on-one, and we can talk through your exact situation and create your adoption marketing plan together. Remember, anything's possible with the right plan and support, and I'm just a message away. I'll see you soon, friend.